Hey everyone, Melissa here, and I wanted to come in as promised from yesterday when we talked about patterns interrupted that we're going to talk about the full moon. And today is my birthday. So there's a lot of great energy going on in the world. And I know when I learned about the moon practices years ago and how the full moon and the new moon and the moon cycle all does have a bearing on us, does affect us, just like the tides of the ocean, right? That's how it's controlled by the moon. And so I just wanted to offer a little bit for you about this so that maybe you can start, the patterns interrupted, finding new ways for you to really align with what it is you want to feel, be, do, or have. And a lot of that starts when you recognize there are things that you want to let go of, and there are other things that you want to call in more. And so when you look at this as a practice, a monthly practice because it's a cycle, right? It's being able to get clarity around what brings you that energy, what brings the energy up in your system, and how you can use it to get rapid results or to align yourself so that you feel more in control, more centered and grounded and focused. So, some of the things I've used over the years is one, sage and Palo Santo sticks. This is a nice way just to burn in the room. You can sage your home, you can sage yourself, but it's just kind of a unique smell in the way that it just gives you a sense of clarifying or purifying. Sometimes when I would burn the sage, it was questioned what I was really burning in my office or what I put in the house because it does have that unique herbal smell, and there's no harm in that. But so this is, and then the seashell, if you're in, you can Google places to buy this kind of stuff, but this is always fun. The other thing I was introduced to is essential oils and roller balls. This to me was one of the changes too, because it's like the scent of this. This one is based on chakras, but being able to use this and just have that smell, like this scent, is what brings you back to center. So this one is lemon. I love to use the lemon. You can even drop some of that in your water, but it just is, again, the smell, the scent, it raises me in my vibration, but it also aligns me back, kind of a touchstone to remember when I'm using this that I'm taking care of me and I'm calling in what I want and I'm creating the things in my life and I'm letting go of the things that no longer serve. The other cool thing is, I don't know if you guys collect things, sometimes people will collect statues or used to be shot glasses back in the day or certain things like that. My big thing was feathers. I love to collect feathers. These are what I find on my journey. It could be around my home, it could be in a parking lot at a restaurant, whatever that is. But feathers just have a great symbolization for me, and just knowing that. Um, it just reminds me, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm on purpose. And then if you can find some really cool journaling books, this is my latest one that I got, um, that you can journal in. This is, and I've not used this one yet. I might have to use it today. But what I loved about this was the pages that were inside of it. Like it just gives you that old feeling sensation. And the book cover itself, butterflies have a really strong meaning for me in my life. And so that being there, but how do you use a journal? That's really up to you. Sometimes we use journals to record our thoughts or the events of the day. But I find if you go into more of a question, the journal, like, I'm feeling this way, wonder why I'm feeling like that. What do I need to know about that? Or I recognize a pattern that I'm following that, maybe I'm not eating healthy, or maybe I'm not moving my body, or maybe I'm just aggravated and frustrated with my partner, or I really hate my job. Like, put those in your journal, like ask those questions so that you can start getting clarity around that, because you can't do a pattern interrupt if you don't magnify what it is that truly is the source or the problem that you're having. And it gives you an opportunity to then find solutions and answers. And like I talked about yesterday on the pattern interrupted, if you've not watched that yet, go back and watch that, because it's our brain, our minds, our thoughts are this Google Drive. And within that Google Drive, it's giving us data and resources, and we have to interrupt what it typically would go to for what we're looking for. So tonight is the full moon. 10:28 Eastern time is when it's at its fullest. I just discovered, interesting enough, because I was looking at what's the full moon versus the new moon. So the full moon is when you can really align yourself with what you want to let go of. The full moon is letting go, because we're going to start a new cycle where we can start calling in and getting the clarity around what it is we truly want. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. So let me back up. The full moon is when we're going to release. No, we're going to identify. Look at that. Let me just pull this up here. I've already confused myself because I was excited about the other things. Okay, so when we talk about the full moon, which is tonight, it'll be at the fullest on my birthday today, December the 29th. It'll be at its fullest on at 10:28, but it does have the energy around it for 24 to 48 hours. And when we talk about the full moon, this is um, yeah, the new moon is when we're going to set our intentions, but the full moon is being able to create more of what you want. The full moon represents a cycle of completion and allows you to release and let go of the energy, and it will give you the gift of removing what no longer serves you and allows you to complete your intentions so that you can move on to something new. So, releasing and letting go during the full moon will give you freeing energy. Okay, so I was right when I said it originally. I think that's what I said. But while I was looking for that definition, I came across what's called moon water. I'm sure some of you that follow me, because I know you, you're probably aware of the moon water, but I kind of missed this altogether. And it talks about placing a cup, bowl, or pot of room temperature tap water underneath the moon's glow, either outside or in a windowsill. And then what you can do with this moon water is add it to your bath, or you can actually drink it. And the purpose behind that is being able to evoke the truest power of the universe within. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this just sounds like right up my alley. And if you are going to try this, let me know, drop a comment and say, yes, totally going to do this. Because I feel like today being my birthday, for one, also knowing that what I've called in for myself keeps showing up, the evidence is clear. I have a lot of evidence. We've talked about this before. What's my evidence with matches, matching, matching words, matching symbols, matching images. There's things that's showing me evidence, and just knowing that that full moon is at its highest, and it's the last one. And some people look at this as the closure of a decade. Like next 2021 actually starts the new decade, where we all use the whole number of 20 to 30, those, the 10-year is the decade. But what I'm reading is it really starts in January. And we're just a few more days away from that. Can you believe that? We were in a year that felt like was forever long. And then now all of a sudden we're at the end of this whole thing and we're getting ready to step into a new year. And it's not that we don't even really know what that's going to look like. I mean, we're adjusting and moving and things are going better than we originally had thought they were going to go. But I feel like now it's, we've navigated it, we've recognized it, we've learned to live our best life through it. And then moving into this new year or new decade, however you want to look at it yourself, it's doing these ceremonial things. It's being able to, just find what feels good to you. Sometimes, taking a bath with Epsom salts or essential oils in there, lighting a candle, having a glass of wine, playing some meditation music, that can be a way that you can release, rejuvenate, your feelings, your emotions, your desires, and it will allow you to come to a place of groundedness, as I've mentioned. Um, Taking time to journal, but light a candle and be in a quiet room, grab your favorite pen. These are all the things that I find really have served me over the years. And when I went to Peru back in 2017 and had my spiritual journey and worked with shamans and had life coaches and things and others that were on this journey as well, it was interesting to really know their lifestyle, their beliefs, and how they really everything was ceremonial. Like you didn't just throw something away to be throwing it away. And you just didn't, pick flowers to be picking flowers. There was always something deeper connected. And, when I was there, I was like, well, this is all good. And we talked about the moon and different things, but it took a while for that to marinate, for me to really start recognizing, like, why am I doing this? And what are my beliefs? And how does this support me on my journey? And that experience, it took almost a year before it really kind of, soaked in to what I learned and what I discovered about myself. And, when I realized I was just a small speck on this planet, which was interesting enough because Matthew McConaughey just came out with Green Lights and he uses that. that same thing, a speck. And I don't know if he said in the universe or in the world, but when he said that, there's the evidence, because I used that early on back, 3 years ago when I shared a video. You can still find that on my YouTube channel at Find Your Own Drive. Scroll down to 2017 and you'll be able to find that story about my journey to Peru. But he used that spec. I used another word the other day when debacle, and I even looked it up to make sure it was the right word I wanted to use, and within an hour on the television program the woman uses the word debacle. It's just like, oh my gosh, these are those evidence that I am, as Abraham Hicks would say, tuned in, turned on, tapped in, and or in some of that order. And that's what I want for you guys. I want you to start experiencing life at a different version of yourself, someone who doesn't stay status quo, someone who's finding these little things of finding feathers or burning sage or using essential oil roller balls, who is showing up for herself, who is giving permission to not have to do things as expected, that you get to change the way things are moving forward. You get to call in what it is that you need. And I just, again, wanted to just provide this message. I hope it resonates with some of you, maybe all of you. Let me know that you watched the replay. Let me know what your plans are. Let me know how this maybe has inspired you, because when you share here, you inspire other people. So let's get the conversation going. And if you would rather message me privately, I'm always open to receive those as well. But as I go out to celebrate my birthday, continue celebrating my birthday today, I'm sending you tons of love and lots of light. And I am receiving deeply all of the comments and messages that I have been receiving in honor of my birthday, of me arriving on this planet many years ago. And I'm just super excited because this decade is just the one that is really aligning so much with my soul's purpose. Not that I haven't been living my soul purpose, my different purposes, my passion, my purpose, but this one is really this decade is really fun and enjoyable, even more so than what I thought it would be. And so, looking forward to each day, each month, each year, it just becomes more and more fun and joyful and exciting. So if you're not feeling that for yourself, I just ask you, take a moment and figure out what that is. And if you need to have a conversation, let me know. I'd be happy to message you and we can talk more about it. So again, have an amazing rest of your day. I will have an amazing rest of my day. And I'll be back tomorrow because I'm going to give you some additional training on something that maybe or maybe not you've thought about. And I'm not going to give you any more information. I'll tease you about it, but you'll want to stay tuned tomorrow and watch for the live video or the replay. So that's all I have for you today. Again, have an amazing rest of your day and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.